1st of July, 2025, Las Vegas, the city known for its bright lights and entertainment, was suddenly plunged into an eerie silence. A devastating dust storm, one of the worst in recent memory, swept through the valley, reducing visibility to nearly zero and leaving destruction in its wake. This fierce storm, fueled by powerful winds and the monsoon moisture, would change the city for days. On what began as a typical summer day, the residents of Las Vegas went about their business as usual, unaware of the disaster that was about to unfold. By noon, the wind started picking up and the temperature began to drop rapidly, a precursor to the chaos that would soon follow. As the afternoon sun began to set, strong winds began to stir across the desert. Within hours, those winds gathered intensity, sweeping massive clouds of dust across the valley. What started as a dust advisory soon escalated into a full-blown dust storm, engulfing the city in an impenetrable haze. The storm hit with unbelievable force. Winds reached up to 80 miles per hour, causing everything in its path to be swept away. Buildings shook as debris flew through the air. Roads were quickly blocked, and traffic slowed to a crawl as visibility dropped to near zero. People on the streets ran for cover, unable to see anything more than the dust swirling around them. Thousands of cars were buried under a thick blanket of dust. Over 60 utility poles were toppled, including those along major routes like Tropicana Avenue and McLeod Drive. The storm didn't just disrupt transportation, it destroyed homes. Many houses had windows shattered, rooftops torn off, and doors ripped open by the ferocity of the winds. At the height
Las Vegas,
of the
Nevada
storm,
experienced
over
a severe dust storm,
90,000 people
which
found
disrupted
themselves
daily
without
life.
power. Thousands of
By
homes were
mid-afternoon,
left in complete
a powerful
darkness
dry
as power
microburst
outages
system
spread
swept
across
through
the
southern
city.
Nevada,
Emergency
specifically
responders
targeting
worked
the Las
tirelessly
Vegas
to
Valley
ensure
with
safety,
unrelenting force.
with many trapped in their
At
homes
3:30
as
p.m.,
roads
the
became
National
blocked
Weather
and
Service
power
issued a
grids
severe
collapsed.
thunderstorm warning,
For many,
but the intensity
it was an
escalated
hour-long
quickly.
fight for survival.
Within an hour, gusts surged.
As the storm raged on, emergency crews were dispatched across the city to assist those stranded. Medical teams were called in to treat respiratory issues, as the dust posed significant health risks, particularly for children and the elderly. Shelters were quickly set up to house those who had nowhere else to go, but the scale of the disaster left the city scrambling to meet the needs of its citizens. Amidst the destruction, there were countless stories of resilience. Families huddled together, seeking shelter in homes or basements, as the storm relentlessly battered the city. For many, the fear of losing their homes and loved ones was palpable. Rosa, a local resident, said, "The air was thick, and the smoke and dust suffocated us. We couldn't see a thing. The streets were empty, but it felt like the storm was coming for us." Rescue operations continued late into the night. Firefighters, police, and paramedics worked relentlessly to rescue anyone still trapped in their homes. Specialized helicopters and drones were used to locate those in danger, guiding ground teams through the thick dust. The city's efforts were heroic, but with roads impassable and infrastructure destroyed, they faced a battle against time. By the morning of July 2nd, the storm had passed, leaving a changed Las Vegas in its wake. Homes were damaged, cars buried, and the city's famed entertainment district now seemed almost unrecognizable. But it wasn't just the physical destruction that was felt. This storm reminded residents of the true power of nature and how fragile the comfort of modern life can be. This dust storm is yet another example of how climate change is increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. The Southwest U.S. has seen more frequent dust storms in recent years, and experts warn that the risk will only grow. Rising temperatures, prolonged droughts, and changing weather patterns are creating ideal conditions for these dangerous storms to develop.
Expected throughout the
As
week,
Las Vegas
with the
begins
potential
the
for both
process
dry
of
and wet
recovery,
storm
the
systems.
people of the city are
While
already
Tuesday's
hard at
event
work.
brought wind
Teams
without
have
rain,
started clearing debris,
future storms
and power
may
has
carry
been
heavy
restored to
downpours,
most areas by
introducing
July
the risk
4th.
of flash
However,
flooding.
the rebuilding
Residents
process
are
will
advised
take
to
time.
prepare
This
emergency kits
devastating
now,
dust storm has
including
highlighted
bottled
the
water,
need for better
flashlights,
disaster
battery backups,
preparedness
and
more
essential
robust
medications.
infrastructure to withstand
Those who rely
future
on medical
extreme
equipment
events.
should register with local before reaching the ground. That evaporative cooling process causes the air to rapidly sink, hitting the ground hard and spreading out in all directions with sudden explosive force. This event in Las Vegas was a textbook
The
example.
city has pledged to strengthen
The winds
its
it
disaster
generated
response
tore through
and
the region
resilience
like a
against
shock
future
wave,
storms.
with almost
From
no
upgrading
warning.
infrastructure
Dust
to improving
storms of this
early warning
magnitude
systems,
are not only
Las Vegas is
destructive
learning
but
from this
dangerous to
crisis.
human life.
The storm was a stark
Officials
reminder of the
urge anyone
vulnerability
caught
of
in
urban
such an
areas,
event
even
to pull
in the most
completely off the
developed
road,
cities.
shut off vehicle replacing more than 100 damaged poles through the next day, prioritizing hospitals, senior care centers, and high-risk residential blocks.
As the dust settles and the city of Las Vegas starts to rebuild, one thing remains clear. The spirit of resilience and solidarity is what will help this city rise again. Though the storm may have passed, the lessons learned from this disaster will last for generations to come.
Clark County's